Salve, anyways, this is RSS 007 getting jumped by crew gang at high school buses. Basically real street stories, true tales basically. So, you know, this is basically, I was in high school at the time. There was like a group, I don't know, they're called like TNB, I think it was the New Breed and the Nutty Bunch. And this fucking kid, Clint Sullivan, claimed I was saying shit or whatever, like it sounded like a movie or whatever. So these fucking kids, like, decided they're gonna jump me because this scumbag, Clint Sullivan, like running his mouth, saying stuff where they said I overheard him talking to him. It was like a plot of a movie or whatever. I mean, I don't even think I drove yet, so you know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean, I'm one person, if somehow it's like something like New Jack City or whatever. So, I don't know, it's like unrealistic, whatever. I have really no idea what like all the details was. So this kid, Shorty, Sean Schmidt, like he comes up to me at my buses and he's like, oh, I heard you've been talking shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I have no idea. I had no idea who they were. I'm like, I'm not saying anything. You know, I'm not saying anything. Or whatever. You know, I'm not talking shit. I have no idea what you're talking about. So, then he like, you know, at one point he like jumped up like Little Mac and he did like, you know, a punch. Then he punched me on like the side of my head, like the side of my temple. But it didn't even faze me. So I'm like, alright. So I'm like, if this kid goes to hit me again, just keep punching him and don't stop punching him. Just don't stop punching him. He wants to fight, whatever. I don't know who he is. And I'm at like, you know, I'm at the school buses, like leaving for school. So it's like, you know, to go home. So I really don't want to be, you know, the last thing I want, you know, I just want to go home at that point. So, you know what I mean? I had like weed on me, because, you know, it's high school, you're going to have weed on you. I mean, you know, that's just how it is, right? But I think he's calling for me, like saying I have a knife or this other shit. And I'm thinking, dude, you just jumped up and punched me. I don't need a knife to fucking beat your ass. So, you know, whatever. Then he like yelled, like he's calling me a drug deal, like all this other shit, like running his mouth. And I'm thinking, first of all, you're in some gang, and you're doing this on the school grounds, so obviously you know that on the street that I'll kill you. So you know you can't take me in a fight. But I wasn't too smart in some ways. So anyways, he yells like the Nutty Bunch or the New Breed or TNB or whatever, and I guess that was a signal for his friends to jump in, but I didn't know that. So he goes to try to hit me, and I swat him. Like I swat him away with like my left hand, and then like with my right hand I punch him, but at some point I grab him too. So I grab him with my left hand, I punch him. Boom! I hit him so fast, like he didn't know what to do. He couldn't even react. So you know what I mean, like. You know, so I just keep hitting him harder and faster, harder and faster, harder and faster, harder and faster, harder and faster. And I'm thinking, holy shit, this kid's still throwing punches. I'm like, how the fuck is he even punching me? How is this kid hitting me? How is this kid throwing any punches at me? You know what I mean? I'm hitting him, I'm hitting him, I'm hitting him, I'm hitting him, and hitting him. By that time, he's got like his head down. I'm like probably punching him on the back of the neck. But I just, you know, because once I go into the fighting haze, you know what I mean? I can't really, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, what the hell? What the hell is this kid doing? So, you know what I mean? Then this Greek kid, he gives me like a running knee lift. His name was like Ikakakabus or some weird name. And that's when I realized that there's more than one person fighting me. And I actually gave him like, I basically just gave him like a smack. Like a reverse butterfly, because I used to do butterflies, you know, with 45 pounds in each hand. So it's basically like a reverse butterfly, where you would like smack your hand back. I hit him in like the center of the chest, friggin' knocks him down. The kid's like 6'1", 180, I knocked him down. Sean Schmidt's like a short guy. I don't know, he's kind of like, you know, he kind of like Asta, like, you know, Black Clover, so it's kind of like beating the shit out of Asta, basically. So, but this kind of threw me off a little bit, because like I couldn't believe that I just swatted the guy and knocked him down. You know what I mean? So I was like a little stunned. I was still holding on to Shorty or Sean Schmidt, I think, but when the guy gave me the running knee lift in the chest, you know what I mean, I could tell, I knew something was up. So it's like when I did that, it was just like, alright, alright, alright. So, next thing I know, the Aryan, this fucking Aryan coward, comes up behind me, and he punches me, like in the back, like back of my neck, back of my head, and like dislodges my, my Slayer hat. I was wearing a Slayer hat at the time. I had a cool Slayer hat, actually. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's the only punch that actually stunned me for a second. So, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't expect that to come. And the kid's like 6'3", 250. So he's a big guy. You know, maybe I'm $165 and I'm pretty, you know, I lift weights and I'm in decent shape. But you're still getting hit in the back of the head. You don't expect it. You know, it's hard to like, you know what I mean? It's hard when you get hit like that. But I mean, if this was online, it would have been one of the greatest fights. Because you know what? I was like, fuck it. So I start swinging. I'm throwing punches. I'm hitting. I'm fighting like 2 or 3 kids at one point. You know, because Shorty finally gets up. Because when I let go of Shorty, he like stumbled like 5 or 6 feet back and he tripped over the curb and fell. But you know, Ike got up and the other kid, the Aryans, the Aryan and Ike, and they're like fighting on me, they're punching on me and stuff. So you know what I mean? Then it was like, at one point I got thrown into the bus, but my hat got knocked off. So I let myself get thrown in the bus to sort of figure out what I mean, these two kids, I knocked down 2 out of 3 kids. They couldn't knock me down once, so that's pretty pathetic. So then at one point I'm like blocking their shots because like none of them are hurting me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what the hell? So I'm looking for my hat. I was going to put my hat back on, and you know what I mean? So I wasn't even threatened. I mean, if I was threatened, I would have pulled out my knife, would have killed all 3 of them. But basically, like this kid Nathan came out, who's been like a dirtbag or like a metal type dude. He's like, what the hell is going on out here? And he had like the cowboy boots and everything. So you know what I mean? They stopped fighting me then. And this other kid yelled from the bus, who I think was on the wrestling team. He's like, you were doing pretty good until those other kids jumped in. I'm like, really? Is that what happened? How many? Like 2, 3, whatever? So I didn't even know they jumped in, you know, because I go into the battle haze. So then these people like threatening me. They're going to follow me home. They're going to follow the bus home, all this other shit. So I'm like, I don't even know what these people are mad about. I don't even know who these fucking people are. And I'm thinking now it's like I'm going to have to start killing these people. Because I mean, what else am I going to do? You know, if they fuck with me again, I'm going to kill them. So I know they're going to jump me again. I talked to some people. You know what really got me? Scott Daoloth just watched them jump me. He didn't do anything. And this other kid, John Nullet, watched them jump me. And these were supposed to be my friends. And they fucking stood there and watched me while they were jumping. Oh, I don't want to get involved. It's like a crew or a gang. Dude, they're fucking high school kids. They're younger than you. What the fuck? This John Nullet had one sister, Gina, who's like a black belt in karate. She was really hot. I mean, I think I could take her, but like, she was just really cool. So every time I saw her, that was pretty cool. She was like 90 pounds. You know what I mean? 2 or 3 people jumped me. I think I could handle a 90-pound girl. I don't care what belt she is. But so, anyways, I ended up going back. You know, I know they're gonna try to jump me again. The crew I'm hanging out with, all of them talk shit. None of them. They're like career criminals. None of them are gonna show up and do anything, even though they claim they would. So I think I go to school the next day. I don't know if I was wearing boots. I don't know if I had like body armor or anything like that, but I was like, alright, they're going to jump me again. There might be 3 to 5 kids. I'm going to have to really hurt them. I'm going to have to take them down hard and fast. Because the first time I just threw hands. I didn't even fight seriously. You know, I didn't want to do too much. We're on school grounds. I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to have a record. So I'm like walking out there to fight them, and all of a sudden I see Phil Baroni, the New York badass. You know, he's done MMA, he's done Pride, he's done Tough Man, he's done pro wrestling. I just happen to know him since Little League, and you know, I didn't ask for anyone for help. I was just going to go there. I was going to fight them all alone. And he's like, dude, it's going to be one-on-one. We got everything set up and blah, blah, blah. He's like, dude, are you scared? Are you afraid? Are you scared? Are you afraid? I'm like, dude, one-on-one, I'll fucking kill him. I was literally going to kill that kid, Sean Smith. He was the weakest of the 3, so I mean, I knew he had no chance in hell. And it was so cool. It was like walking out there almost like you're going out to the arena and shit. And then, you know, when I get out there, it was like, boom, the whole fucking school was there. Like all the teachers, all the kids, and everything like that. So nothing happened. So then, like, just to finish off the story for people that might want to know, like, so they were led by this guy like DM, Demetrius McQueen. He had a brother, Aaron. I knew Aaron from Allen Park. He was a big muscle dude, like black dude, really big, muscular, really tough, you know, big guy. I play handball with him sometimes. I sort of knew him. I was friendly with him. I knew another guy like Rob Ryan, I think it was Rob Ryan. He was sort of in with them, and I know, you know, I was right down the middle with everyone I had anything to do with. So you're right down the middle. You're not ripping people. You're not fucking people. You're not screwing people. So they all knew I was a decent person. So it's like 20 or 30 of them. We go up by like, it's like a Taco Bell. I run into them and I'm like, uh-oh, I think they're going to jump me. Because, you know what I mean? So, you know, Shorty Smith's running his mouth saying how they beat me up and all this other thing. But you know what? Anytime Shorty Smith saw me after that, he'd run. He'd leave the house. He'd leave. If I walked into a store, he'd leave the store. You know what I mean? So, you know, I had to talk with DM. He put his arm around me and he's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And like everything was, you know, good then. Like I thought I was going to have to hit him in the balls and run. And then there's this little area. And then I'm like, if they start coming at me and I can't run, it'd be like The Walking Dead where you keep like stabbing them and shit. And stab them like one by one, one by one. If there's 20 kids, there's 10 kids, and there's 5 kids, and there's 3 kids. But you know what I mean? So people talk, this is what happens with propaganda when people spread lies and they say you're saying stuff and talking shit. Or you know, there's a group of people are always going to make an excuse to try to jump you and try to act like, you know, like they're the victim and you're the one in the wrong. But you know what? If you persevere, sometimes things work out. You know, people stepped up for me. I didn't ask them to step up for me. This girl, I remember, she didn't like them. She couldn't believe how they jumped me.